Okay guys, just wanted to do a quick cherry shrimp update for you guys. I just did my weekly tank maintenance, and I talked the last video I did about this, about how I need to clean the glass there. Anyway, it's a little stirred up, and that's why we have so much activity. But I talked to you guys last time I talked about these tanks, about how I'm using cichlids to feed cherry shrimp, which just sounds insane, except you see all those water lettuce roots down there. I just removed a ton. I mean, if you look here, this is this week's top growth that had to be pulled off. And if it was summertime, I'd be even early spring where it hadn't come back yet, I'd be throwing all this into my ponds outside. But this will go in the compost for the chickens and the ducks, and they'll love it. Lots of nutrient there. But I took a bunch of the water lettuce off of up here and added it down here. And as you can see, those roots there, they're just covered with detritus. From the cichlids being kind of a dirtier fish. And again, the babies and the young ones especially just love this stuff. But if you look in the Java moss, it's like an explosion of shrimp in the Java moss. And you know, the shrimp didn't just show up yesterday. They've been there. There's some real little babies in there, but most of them are, you know, juveniles to young adults. So what happened is when I pulled all of that water lettuce and salvinia and whatnot out of there, a lot of the stuff they hadn't gotten kind of fell down into that Java moss, and it's just dinner bell, you know, everybody's there. So first, everybody was in the Java moss, and within the last couple minutes, and it's only maybe 5 since I finished up here, we got the migration up into the roots. Everybody's like, "Ooh, there's new poop up there," and you know, it sounds disgusting, but that's what they like. And that's what triggers massive breeding in these guys, is the supply. I'm getting to a point now, I really need to start looking for some that aren't going to make grade and culling them out. I also just need to start moving some out of here just on population alone. This is only a 10-gallon tank. And, you know, I don't know how many shrimp are in here, but just by looking at this and realizing how many you don't see, I got to say I'm close to 200 shrimp in here, at least in a 10-gallon tank. So we've been moving more down to the display planted tank that we're working on down there with all the nano fish. I do still have to start working on the 3.5 gallon nano fish bowls. Certainly some of those will be going there, but really I've heard that these guys are incredibly cold hardy. So all my culls, they're going out in the garden ponds. And if I get some that can overwinter here, great. I mean, the first thing you do when you do selective breeding, rather than breed for, you know, prettiness or whatever, you breed for survival. If I can get these guys reproducing like this in my garden ponds from the culls, I have an endless supply of new genetics. Who knows what'll pop up, but all the stuff that's kind of plain Jane, you know, I got a lot of fish out there that need feeding, so, you know, it's kind of another really high quality food source for them, and they're probably more likely to do that for me than the Mississippi grass shrimp that are in here, here and there. So, blues, they're still just lackluster in comparison. There's a bunch of them in there. Just had one die on me down here, and it looks like a female with eggs, and I'm not happy about that. But, you know, this tank is about 2 months behind the red shrimp, so I'll be patient with it. I've got babies, you know, and a lot of people really baby, you know, turn a phrase there or whatever, but they baby their shrimp. Everything is, let's be very, very careful. I do my water changes. You know, 15% of water comes out for a shrimp tank. 15% goes back in. It's cold water from outside. Some of them die. That one didn't die from that. But over time, you know, your weaker shrimp are going to die. And maybe, yeah, they're your higher colored ones or whatever. But in the end, what you end up is very resilient. And Neocardinia are incredibly resilient to begin with. So just thought I'd check in with you. And I wanted to show you real quick exactly, you know, how I'm doing the water lettuce up top here in this 40 breeder that my cichlids are in. Of course, they all think they're getting fed. There's my Afrojaro. Look at him. Is he not beautiful fish? But, little bumblebee there. Anyway, what I did, I built this raft. And it's just 1/2-inch PVC with some 3-ways and some elbows. But I left this opening right here where there's not supposed to be any water lettuce. I'll get that out later. But that lets 100% of the light penetrate down to the water. And then I have these 2 areas where I can have this top cover. And I just do the swap thing, or eventually sometimes I just throw a bunch of it away or propagate it somewhere else. But I keep bringing this, yeah, dirty and nasty these guys are, they make those roots covered, because all that's, now it's a little bit more than normal because I just did a water change. But these guys stir a lot of stuff up. And especially until all this jungle fowl really grows in down here and makes it a more complete ecosystem, they're going to continue to, they got fed, so cichlid poop everywhere. And it just, that water lettuce is just an amazing plant in its ability. Like out in the garden ponds in the summer when things get really heavy with lots of nutrient, you pull it out and that water lettuce is bigger than your hand, and the roots are a foot long and they're just covered. It's like a biological solids filter, and we use that for compost. We use it to feed the ducks, compost that the chickens turn up, and we get all that wonderful nutrient. Well, it's just a minor cycle here. Instead of taking that nutrient from a pond and giving it to ducks and chickens and compost, we're taking that nutrient from that little raft, and we're going down here and giving it to the shrimp. And as you guys can see, it is causing a population explosion. Anyway, guys, we'll catch up with you later. Hope you enjoyed it. These guys want to be fed. There he is one more time. He is a handsome fish. See if he'll come out for you before I leave. Oh, somebody chased it out. That's the alpha electric yellow, man. He's like, you're not going to breed with my girl and crossbreed. And they're not going to do that anyway, but yeah. He's about the only guy in there big enough to stand up to him. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later.